Hi and welcome to this new video, and finally we have the new update 1.7 of the Polyend Tracker. So let's see that 1.7 current version. There are many changes in this update, and we are gonna to see almost all. So in the pattern section, as you can see, we have a label color over there, and the general overview and color are more dark and pleasant. There's no color for tracks. That's really a shame. In the general graphic settings, they are more pleasant. In the config page, into the project setting, we have this new two option: snap to zero and extra headroom. The extra headroom is like lowering the general volume and leave more space before reaching the 0 point. So basically we have more volume to work with. And snap to zero, it's a thing that lack on the Polyend Tracker until now. And let me show you how it works. Simply this snap to the zero crossing point, the start and stop point on the sample playback. We pick a sample, and as you can see, we have the preview volume in there, but you can't click below and augmenting the volume. Over there you have to move with the arrow and then change the volume, as opposed with the works with the cutoff, for instance, of volume over there. But anyway, it's nice to have a volume control directly into the sample pool. So let's go to the, maybe we can, okay. And as you can see, we have some red and green brackets. What does it mean? When you reach, let's zoom in, when you reach the zero crossing point, the bracket turns green. So you can clearly see that, okay, I'm at zero crossing. Here the start of the sample is zero crossing, and yeah, this is zero crossing, of course, just because we have nothing in there. But you can search other zero crossing points. It clearly depends on the sample you are using. Yeah, for instance, this one. And pay attention to this. As you can see, graphically, that's not zero crossing point. I think this is only a graphical issue. The graphic does not correspond so well with the actual zero crossing point. The zero crossing thing is automatically fade in and fade out between the 2 points, but works also in the bit slice. So if we can slice, okay, they are these three are on zero crossing. This is not, so we can adjust that. Yeah, this is not either. And sometimes it doesn't see the zero crossing point. As you can see here, it doesn't see the zero crossing. But anyway, audio side, this is right. Okay. Now let's talk about the song mode. There are some changes on the song mode. You can easily copy and paste patterns and stuff like that. I didn't use so much the song mode on the Polyend Tracker, just because I prefer, as you know, to use the performance mode and control all the patterns manually, but this is my personal preference. Now, let's talk about something that we are expecting from years, and this Equalizer. Now we have a working EQ into the Polyend Tracker. Yay! And this is great, of course. Now, let's do a copy of this. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, okay. Sometimes it doesn't copy. But anyway, we have the same sample and go into Equalizer. Now, we can exaggerate. Pay attention to one thing. This is not an EQ so aggressive. So, to really hear the EQ, you have to push a little bit more than usual. Now we have more options to choose from. We have the low frequency, low gain, low frequency, and low width. Of course, this is the gain of the band. This is the frequency where the gain is applied. And the width command is the bell, so we can have a more large bell or more narrow bell. So you can really cut or add precise. If you on more, we have the mid band, that is the same mid band frequency, with and I same. So maybe we can start lowering a little bit of the mid frequency, maybe augmenting a little bit. Now I'm exaggerating, of course, but just to show you that is working. Maybe over there. Maybe we can narrow a little bit and augmenting the highs and the width. Let's apply and let's hear the difference from the first and with no EQ. Oh, sorry, just because I'm there. Okay, one shot. Okay, either here, sorry. As you can hear, there's a big difference between the two samples. There are some changes also on the compressor and the limiter. They are working well now, and I don't remember if in the previous firmware that was labeled like this, but now it's much more clear to see which ratio you are applying. Even if I think the 50.1 ratio, from 20 to 50.1 ratio, it's a different degree of limiting. If this label respect the usual label from a compressor, as 1 is no compression at all, and 2 is a ratio 2 to 1. We have the usual attack and release command, and let's maybe start. As you can see, it's compressing. Of course, it's lowering down the volume just because it's compressing. And this leads us to a personal opinion. The compressor works well, and the limiter too, but they lack 2 functions. One is the wet-dry control. This will be so useful to achieve kind of a parallel compression technique. In the Polyend Tracker is really hard to achieve this kind of treatment, just because there is no phase compensation. So if you applied a parallel treatment, the phase will clash. But it will be useful to have a wet-dry control here, just because sometimes you don't want to have 100% compressed signal, but you want blend the compressed or heavily compressed in the case of I don't know, drum loops, for instance, with the compressed signal. So, and the second thing, it lacks a makeup control. I know you can, of course, amplify, but it will be useful having a gain control and a backup control directly into the compressor. The limiter, pretty straightforward, nothing changes, but it's working better now. We have also a little bit of changes over the file manager. So we can, as you can see, the color change. We have 2 sections now, the recent project and the normal SD card, where all our projects you can open, delete, and we have this new folder option. So let's start. Maybe we call new folder, create new folder. Okay, I have a new folder labeled yet, so new folder 1. And enter in the folder, and we can add a new folder. Create. Enter in the folder, and we can create a new folder again. We can delete, of course, and turn back. Pay attention to one thing. When you cancel, when you save as, if you save as without entering into the project, let's do that. Oh, sorry. Cancel. Save as. And save. Let's name like that. This is saving our project, not into the folder. So what we have to do is to save as and enter in the folder, and now we can save into the folder we are choosing. There is no option to rename the various projects, and these options will be cool to have also into the sample loader. I can rename, but I can't delete sample from here, and this will be so useful. But anyway, this is a great addition just to manage a little bit more and well all our projects into the Polyend Tracker. Another thing that they are adding into this firmware is the metronome config directly into the sample recorder, and we have the option to have a pre-roll or not into the option, and now it works also when you record something. You have this record button, and you can or directly on the rack. This is a minor change, but I think this will speed up a little bit of the workflow. Now, on the master setting page, on the reverb, nothing changes. On the delay, nothing changes. There are some minor changes on the delay. I read on the changelog that the first step of the delay wasn't filtered. Is if you have the filter activate on the sample on the instrument, but now seems solved. But option side, there are no changes. No changes on the limiter. No changes on the EQ. But we have this saturation. And this is a great addition just to have a little bit more energy in our tracks, but there is no off command. Maybe I don't always want to add a clipping stage into my master, just because I wanna maybe mix my tracks into Ableton to have more control. So I don't comprehend why there is no enough command here to deactivate the saturation, but in general, the soft clip works pretty well and is kind of transparent. Of course, it's not. It's a clipping, so it's not meant to be transparent. But it's barely noticeable with soft clip or saturate. Start to be a little gnarly into the Drive Plus, but this is a distortion, so it's normal. There are no changes into the instrument chooser. There are no new effects. No new effects there. Of course, we have talked about the compressor, equalizer, and limiter. I think this is it. Maybe I'm missing something. Oh yeah, they have changed the way you can enter into the instrument synthesizer mode. This is a shame, just because before you have to you have this shortcut, shift and instrument parameters. Now doesn't work. I don't really comprehend why they took off this shortcut. It was useful and really fast, but now you have to go into the instrument parameters, press more, and instrument synthesizer. So it's a little bit more slow. We have here all the CC available. One thing more that I'm missing now, and this is the general pattern arrangement. We have now the option to have to vertical revolver, vertical original or horizontal. Vertical revolver, apply, is simply the pattern I think this is a bug. We found a bug. I don't know why it doesn't work with the jog wheel, but with the arrow it works. So as you can see, the pattern is 22, 24, maybe, let's see, 8. And we have the endless pattern play. I don't think I will use this layout, so let me put on the original, but just a personal preference. So this is it. It's great to see that the tracker finally reached a new update. There are some bug fixes. We have wait for a long time, so this is a really nice addition. There are more and more minor changes that the tracker needs, but it's great to see that Polyend is supporting this hardware. So if you like, check my Gumroad page for Polyend Tracker Play, Octatrack, and now also for the Polyend Tracker Mini. The instruments are fully compatible for samples and instruments. And if you like, come and say hi on my Instagram page at NoirTDC, and see you next time. Bye!